What's going on, y'all? We are back to talk about power. This is season 5, episode 7, The Devil Inside. Everybody's fucking this episode. I, 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 I was just like, I can do without this. I can really do without everybody fucking, but okay, everybody's fucking. So let's just get into it. The episode starts out with Tasha and Deleterious Silver talking. Tasha is asking or really pleading for Terry to lie for her, to corroborate her story about the gun. But Terry's not feeling it. He's very reluctant. He is leaning more towards having Ghost, because he thinks Ghost killed Ray Ray. He says to turn himself in, okay? But that's when Tasha says it wasn't Ghost, it was Tariq that killed Ray Ray. And I need for you to do this for me. So Terry, he still was resistant, but eventually he was like, all right, well, I'll do it. Okay. And I don't know. I don't know why Tasha expected anything different. Even though I kind of thought for a second that Terry would have her back, but Terry discovered in that moment that Tasha had been lying to him the whole time. But it just is what it is. He reluctantly agrees to cover Tasha's ass, and then he gets some of Tasha's ass. Okay, Angie and Ghost are at her apartment talking about Tasha. Well, Ghost brings up how long had Tasha been dealing with, how long did Angie know that Tasha was dealing with Deleterious, right? And Angie says, okay, do you care about this because of the case or because of Tasha? Of course, Ghost claims that he's interested because of Tariq, but we know that's bullshit. That's his ego. That's his ego. We all know Ghost ain't no changed man. Okay, we tried to give him just a little bit from the last episode, but clearly Ghost has not changed because his ego was crushed when he found out about Tasha and Terry. So anyway, they go on to talk a little bit more, and Ghost says that he's completely out of the drug game and that the Queen's Child Project is his only endeavor. Okay, which is supposed to be legit, but again, we know that shit is not legit. That shit is crooked as hell with crooked ass Tate. But for Angie's sake, he says that that's his all he has going on. Okay, so Angie knows that they're coming for her. I guess she can, she can just feel it, that the folks at the headquarters, the Fed folks are going to be coming for her. And they just have this back and forth about now Ghost is so-called clean and Angie's now become the criminal. Y'all know how I feel about Ghost and Angie. I just can do without really seeing them together in these extensive scenes. But anyway, they start fucking. Okay, and Angie misses him and whatever. Anyway, Tamika, Donovan, Cooper Nutsacks, and Mock are back at the headquarters, and they're discussing this RICO case that they're working with Blanca on. All right, Donovan is resistant to Angie being indicted in the RICO case. He kind of stands up and protests and is like, come on, y'all gonna really include her in this RICO case? Y'all think she's part of his organization? And Cooper Nutsacks, little funky ass, he's sitting there. You know what, I don't even care that Nutsacks and Mockingbird have a vendetta against Angie, because I don't really care about Angie either, but they are just bona fide assholes. Like, I don't know. It's just crazy to me that they've been able to, snivel around and be such huge jerks as long as they have, and nobody has even just throat punched either one of them real good yet. So anyway, Nutsacks is just gushing over um how happy it'll make him to indict Angela in this case. And Tamika tells Mock and Nutsacks to hurry up and go put the squeeze on Terezi because Terezi ain't gave him shit yet. So they like, okay, I'm on it. All right. They show up at Terezi's house, and of course Terezi is flipping the fuck out like, y'all showing up here is gonna get me killed. They come in. Connie's like, fuck you, because they asked her how she was doing. She's like, fuck you, basically. And so they're having, this conversation. And once they leave, Connie kind of sort of makes Terezi start thinking twice about this, okay? Because she's like, well, when I'm gone, you're not going to have anyone if you go through with this with Tommy. Tommy is your son, right? He's your son. So, I mean, really, do you really want to go through with this? And she tells him, I knew about the affair for a long time. It wasn't until recently that I knew about the kid, Tommy, okay? He says, well, I couldn't hurt you, okay? I don't have the heart. Yeah, so she says that she knew about it, okay? But he says he ain't had a heart to hurt her and whatever, blah, blah, blah. She slaps the shit out of him. Whoosh. Do you forgive me? Whoosh. Yeah, I forgive you. Okay, cool. That Connie's a motherfucker, and we gonna see that, okay? But anyway, back at the office, Donovan warns Angie about the federal team investigating her and tells her again to stay away from Ghost, all right? And she had his back during that whole Sandoval situation and everything. So I guess Donovan feels like this is the least he can do as far as just giving her a heads up about the fact that she doesn't have any friends in that office and she needs to stay the fuck away from Ghost. But of course, her judgment, her ability to remain objective when it comes to Ghost is none. It does not exist. So he's like, I'm telling you now, you just need to stay away from him. And he was like, after this, I don't owe you a motherfucking thing. Okay, so he walks out. She's thinking, the gears are spinning in her head. It's all coming together for her. So Dre and Ghost are on the phone discussing the hit arrangements that they made. Now, Dre's supposed to be killing Diego, and Ghost is supposed to be... No. Dre is supposed to be killing Jason Mitchell, and Ghost is supposed to be killing Diego. It's some shit. Y'all know what I'm talking about. It's so many damn moving pieces, but y'all know what I'm talking about. But they on the phone and they discussing those arrangements and everything. Okay, so cool. Meanwhile, Tommy settles up with Jason, bringing him the $2 million in the clean money that he owed him, and he updates him on the situation with the Jimenez. Okay, Jason, because Diego got out quickly, okay? And so Jason is like, well, if he got out so quickly, he must be giving up some shit to the feds, and you're the only link. So I'm gonna need you to hurry up, and because Diego could be giving up a whole bunch of shit on my organization, and you're the only common denominator. So I'm gonna need you to hurry up and kill that nigga, and get me them ports like you promised before these feds start getting too deep off in this shit. All right. So that was that. Then Ghost, meanwhile, so that's going on over there. Okay. And Kanan was there too. Kanan chimed in about something, but Mitchell was like, I don't need your input. Shut up, basically. But Ghost ends up enlisting the help of Kanan to kill Diego, because Ghost is like, I can't kill him because he knows who I am. So he'll never see you coming. Okay, so perfect, right? Proctor shows up at Cooper Nutsack's office and says that he filed those harassment charges and to leave him alone. He gonna get reinstated. He filed the charges. So fuck you, Cooper Nutsack's. Courtesy of Joey Proctor, right? But socks. Lord have mercy. Cooper Nutsack's uses this as his opportunity to grab Proctor and be like, do you know, I can get you your license back, but I just need you to give me the drop on Angie, okay? Do you know anything about her covering up a murder? Like, nah, I don't know nothing about that. Nutsacks is like, well, would you protect her if you knew she did? He's like, nah. I wouldn't do that. Okay, so that plants something in Joey's mind about Angie, because we know Angie is not Proctor's favorite person either, right? Tasha and Ghost end up, it looks like they're at Truth, sitting at the bar, talking about Terry. Ghost is clearly Lowry's. Clearly very, very salty. Okay, Lowry's. All right, and he's like, you know, just going back and forth with Tasha about, I can't believe you would do this with this nigga, and while I was locked up and all of this and that. And of course, Tasha's like, nigga, whatever. Like, I don't even believe we sitting here. Why are we even sitting here talking about this? So she storms out and bypasses Rashad. Rashad says hi to her. Tasha's like, yeah, whatever. Because she's just done and over all of it. Rashad fires Ghost, okay? Releases Ghost from the Queen's Child Project because of his volatile behavior lately, okay? And says he'll give him his money back after he announces his gubernatorial candidacy. And Ghost is like, nigga, you just keep doing shit, okay? And I told y'all a couple episodes ago, it's like Rashad keeps taunting Ghost, okay? And even after Ghost hemmed him up on the bar, he's just at it. He just keeps at it, okay? So anyway, damn, Angie and Rico Suave, I think his name is Steve. Anyway, but the dude, Steve, and Angie sit down. They're at lunch, and she asks for a job, okay? Because she rattles off some shit about the Jimenez and the Mexican borders and the U.S. and the CIA and the DEA and the FBI and all of this shit. She rattles down all of this shit talking to Rico Suave about and asking about this job, okay, in the district, because she knows that they getting ready to put the press on her ass, right? Okay, so as they're talking, she gets a text from Tommy saying to meet at her apartment. So at the apartment, this nigga Tommy is sitting in there chilling, eating her organic chips on her couch, right? And she figures out that Tommy is not working for the Jimenez. Tommy is actually working for Mitchage, okay? And Tommy leaves because Terezi texts him and says he's got to meet someone, okay? So Tommy, while he's riding with Terezi and Sammy, he's still giving up more and more information on how they would wash the money through the fluff and folds, right? And I just gotta say, I'm just disappointed with Tommy. It's not so much as disappointed like I can't stand Tommy, but I'm just disappointed that he's allowed this dude to weasel his way in, and the fact that he ain't, you know, he and Ghost have had some issues. He's letting that infiltrate and make him weak when it comes to this dude Terezi. So anyway, they ride and he giving up information about the laundromats. And they meet this guy, okay, for some money. The guy tries to short Terezi because he waited. The money is in the briefcase. He put weights in the briefcase. And Terezi pops the briefcase open and it's money in there, of course, but he finds the weights in there. So he's like, oh, you motherfucker. You didn't think I would figure that shit out? This the oldest trick in the book, nigga. Now we got a problem. We got a problem, okay? So this is right up Tommy's alley, okay? This super crazy shit is right up Tommy's alley, and it's with his father. So he all here for it, right? They knock the guy out. Tommy punches the guy, knocks the guy out. They sit him in his chair, tie him up in the chair, duct tape his mouth, and they get this power drill and they drill holes in his knees, a hole in his head. Oh my God. And the whole time, Tommy is just here for it. He's loving it. And so is Terezi, okay? Back at Choate, Tariq listens to this voicemail that his father left him apologizing again, okay? Just reminiscing on when Tariq was born and the hopes he had for Tariq and all of that. And he was about to text him back, but he decides not to. He deletes the message, okay? And he calls Kanan and say he ready, basically, to start hustling. But Kanan got this little nigga thinking he a gangster. And he is not. He is just not. I mean, I almost feel sorry for Tariq because he's so misguided. He was lied to by both of his parents for all of his life. And now he's got this nigga Kanan who don't mean him no good ever. That's all in his head and making him think that he's a gangster. And I think somebody gonna kill Tariq or hurt him real bad somewhere along the line. Maybe not this season, but in coming seasons, I think something's gonna happen to Tariq. But anyway, Tommy, after they drill this man to death, they in the car and they just having this friendly, playful banter back and forth about the crazy shit that he's done. And Tommy's just still giving up more and more information on the hits that him and Ghost have carried out. And anyway, so, and Terezi, of course, is just eating it all up, right? Tommy's mother hits him on his cell, and because Terezi had actually invited Tommy to come over for dinner because he says that these lighthearted stories will cheer Connie up. And meanwhile, Terezi done sat Sammy's ass down, sat him out, and was like, nah, Sammy, this just a family thing. I was like, this nigga Terezi, Joe. I can't with Terezi. So Tommy's mother hits him on his cell phone and says, I need you. Can you come through tonight and help me out with something and bring me some snort? Okay. But Tommy's like, nah, I got plans. So he refuses to go and help his mother out. Meanwhile, Terezi breaks in talking to Tommy, not knowing, of course not knowing that was his mother on the phone, Tommy's mother on the phone. So she overhears Terezi talking and is like, oh my God, are you with that asshole? You're with that you know how over the top she is. So anyway, but one thing I will say is that she did warn him about Terezi and he didn't listen. So she's a crazy cokehead, but she knows what she's talking about when it comes to Terezi. So anyway, so at dinner, Tommy obliges and he goes over to Terezi's house for dinner. So they sitting down and they talking. And Terezi says that Tommy is having an issue with cleaning his money. And says, Connie usually has pretty good ideas. So she was like, why don't you invest in a private ambulance business? the cops see an ambulance speeding down the street at 80 miles an hour at 2 a.m., they not gonna question it. It's an ambulance, right? Okay, brilliant idea. The damn mother shows up. Boom, boom, boom. Knock on the door. I know you in there, Tommy. I know your car. So she busts in, right? The mother busts in. She goes on a tirade, okay, and she basically is pretty much just poking the bear, like poking at Connie, and is like was getting ready to go at Connie, but of course Tommy and Terezi wasn't gonna let her get to her. But the mother is like, yeah, you see this Tommy, this my son, this is my son, what Terezi and I made outside of you, okay? And Connie, this is why I said that Connie is a motherfucker. That Connie was like, yeah, it is what it is. I knew about the affair. I know about Tommy. Yeah, that's my son. Whew. I was like, child, okay. Connie like, shit, I'm about that life. Cancer or no cancer, I am about that life. So anyway, I wasn't expecting that, really. I mean, I wasn't expecting Connie to take that jab like that and call Tommy her son, okay? But she did, and it was a nice little sprinkle in the episode, all right? So anyway, this is why I say ghost ass ain't changed. He confronts Terry, okay? Trying to intimidate him, all right? Intimidate him into corroborating Tasha's story, all right? And he says, either you corroborate Tasha's story or I'm going to go to the ethics committee about, your whole involvement in this shit. And, you know what? And that's why I said Ghost ain't changed. Ghost has not changed. He knew what he was doing by going there, intimidating Terry. It had nothing to do with him really trying to protect Tariq or looking out for Tasha. He went there because his ego was bruised and he wanted to show how big his dick was, okay, in that moment. And he knew what he was doing. So Tommy, because at dinner they asked Tommy about whether or not he got a girlfriend, and of course we know he had Holly, but he killed her. And he says, yeah, I'm seeing somebody or whatever. They like, okay, well, you need to bring her by. Tommy like, oh, I don't know. Don't know about all that. But okay. So anyway, he goes and he tells Keisha that his family wants to meet her. And this is another part of the episode where I was just like, oh my God. Like, Keisha, girl, really? He says, yeah, my peoples want to meet you or whatever. And at first Keisha was kind of like, I don't know about all that. But then Tommy went all off into this spiel about, yeah, they want to meet you and I just be fucking everything up. I'm fucking it up. And Keisha's like, oh no, you're not fucking it up. Are you serious? I just need to know that you're real. Are you really real, Tommy? Girl. I had a feeling Keisha was going to eventually fold. And then they start fucking. Oh, God. I don't know why. The fucking scenes are just sickening to me now. Like, I don't know. Anyway, Dre goes and he pays Diego, okay, and tells him Arturo is the one who told the feds, okay? And 2-Bit is there with Dre, right? 2-Bit's off in the background. While Dre is talking, Dre tells Diego that, yeah, Arturo wasn't my first choice anyway. And 2-Bit is looking at the nigga like, nigga, did he really just say that, when we know for a fact that Dre wanted Arturo for a specific reason, because he wanted somebody that he could easily manipulate. Okay, so anyway, another lie Dre done told. And Dre, sets the whole scene and invites Diego to this party where it's gonna be some pussy to get, okay? It's gonna be some butt to get, because we all know how Diego is. And so Dre sets the whole scene up, and his plan is in motion. Okay, right, cool. So Dre and Ghost are back on the phone and confirms the plans for the hits that they're going to carry out, okay, for each other. Dre is discussing the hit with 2-Bit, okay? And Dre is like, okay, we're going to kill Diego first, then kill Ghost, okay? So basically, we're going to kill two birds with one stone. They having this discussion. And again, it's a lot of moving pieces, y'all. So if I'm leaving anything out, put it in the comments, and we'll chop it up in the comments, okay? But that was the gist of it, is that Dre is trying to take both Diego and Ghost out at the same time, all right? Keisha and Tasha are sitting down, eating lunch, I guess, and talking about her reunion with Tommy. And Keisha tells Tasha that his father wants to meet her. And Tasha's like, whoa. I thought his father was dead. And Keisha just is pretty much trying to just be coy and brush it off, right? With Tasha, Tasha's still wondering about it, okay? But she gets a text from Terry to come over, okay? He's got to show her something or something like that. 2-Bit tells Kanan about the plans with Dre to kill Diego, okay? And he's talking about everyone's they talking about everybody's plans to kill the other person, and so on and so forth, right? And while he's talking to Kanan about this, it comes out that the bottom line here is going to be that everybody is going to get taken out, to the point where 2-Bit is going to be able to get cut in on Kanan's slice with Jason once Dre and Diego are gone. I believe that's how it's supposed to go. Correct me if I'm wrong, y'all. But anyway, Ghost meets with Alphonse. Okay, Alphonse is the dude who controls the territory where the Queen's Child project is supposed to be being built. And Ghost offers to pay Alphonse double of what Rashad is paying him. Okay, but Alphonse tells Ghost that Rashad has been skimming money off the top from the Queen's Child project to pay him, right? And that's exactly what Ghost needs. So put a pin right there. We're going to come back to that in a second. Proctor tells Tommy he got his license back and asks Tommy if Angie is trying to cover up a murder. Tommy's like, the fuck, I don't, not that I know of, like, I don't know. Okay, but anyway, Proctor, because Proctor is working off of what Cooper Nutsacks has said to him earlier, so he's trying to dig a little bit, okay, but Tommy ain't got nothing for him. Terezi tells Mockingbird and Nutsacks that there was a murder in jail. This is the part last season where Charlie Murphy, the guard that Charlie Murphy played, Ghost killed him and crushed his skull and hung the other inmate to make it look like a fight or something, okay? So he's giving up all of this information to Cooper Nutsacks and Mockingbird, okay? And he says, they ask him, will you testify? And he says, yeah, if it comes to that, okay? So, I don't know. Is he going to get to testify? Is he going to die? I don't know. Before he gets to testify, who knows? But anyway, Tariq is talking to Kanan. They're playing chess. And Kanan is telling Tariq, you know, you got to stay steps ahead of your competition. Tariq say he wants to be a hustler just like him. Clearly that boy is misguided. If he wants to be like Kanan, he's misguided. They did a whole lot wrong with Tariq. In trying to do things right, they did a whole lot wrong. I get they wanted to just protect him, but that boy is messed up. Tommy confronts Angie about the move she made to get Sandoval killed last season, okay? Mike Sandoval. He pops up in her car. And Angie, that's when Angie tells Tommy that she is worried basically because they're out to get her at the headquarters. All of her people are out to get her. And she needs to get rid of the problem. That would be John Mock, okay? But she says, let me try something else first, right? So Tommy is like, yeah, shit, just let me know. You know what I'm saying? Holler at me. I got you, right? And that's the title of the episode is The Devil Inside. And that was the scene where Tommy said, you've got the devil inside you. And I mean, Angie has been the one this whole time. Everybody tries to hold up as, you know, they was really trying to hold her up as this this all white wearing, you know, justice crusader, you know, but she's really not. Okay, she's really not. Clearly she's not. But anyway, so Kanan is still getting further and further into Tariq's head. Then he gets a text from Ghost to get the ball rolling on the hits because Kanan and Tariq were out at this. It looked like some little bar or something, maybe something like that. And they were sitting talking. And Kanan, like I said, was just getting further and further into Tariq's head. And then Kanan had to go because they were getting ready to set the ball in motion on the hits that they were going to carry out. Angie tells Mock that there's a lead counsel position available in DC, okay, with Suave's office, and the position is yours, okay, but it requires my recommendation. So basically, Angie's trying to get Mock off her ass by sending him to the district for this job. Not kill him. Don't kill him, because of course it'll probably point right back to her and make shit worse. So she's trying to send his ass up, you know, send his ass on the way and get him out of her head. I don't know why she thinks it would be that easy, but it looks like Mock is trying to play ball with her because he asked her, what does she need? Okay. Tasha arrives at Terry's place, and this nigga done moved. Like, everything is gone. All the furniture is gone. There is a check, a note, and what looked like a subpoena was on his counter. So he leaves a note and says, I'm sorry, Tasha. So that's why I said Ghost knew exactly what he was doing, okay? Because Terry is definitely not cut from that same cloth, okay? So Terry gone. Okay, Tasha basically at this point is just assed out. So Rashad and Ghost are together. They're talking. They're sitting at the bar, and this is where Ghost plays the recording of Alphonse back for Rashad. The recording of Alphonse saying that he had been skimming. Okay, so Ghost tells Rashad, listen, so you make this Queen Child project your priority, or I'm gonna make you mine, basically. So at this point, Ghost finally got a little bit of a leg up, okay, because Rashad been fucking with him and fucking with him and fucking with him, and finally Ghost has a little piece of something, okay, to snatch Rashad back in line and put Ghost back on the project. All right, so Diego, now the hits are about to, this is where all the hits are supposed to go down. Diego arrives, okay, at the place, at the spot. Two Bit is in the car and tells, because first Diego gets there, and I believe Two Bit greets him or whatever. He goes up and sends him on up into the spot. And meanwhile, Two Bit is in the car telling Spanky that they're going to tell Spanky what's going on, okay? And Two Bit says they're going to tell Dre, because they're supposed to be killing ghosts. Dre is supposed to be having them kill ghosts, but they're going to tell they're going to tell Dre that Ghost didn't show up and that they didn't kill Kanan because that wasn't part of the plan. That wasn't the order that Dre gave, because they know how Dre, is supposed to be so much with the iron fist, you know what I mean? And how he would react if they go against his order. So they basically playing Dre against himself in this instance, because Two Bit's intent is to get in with Kanan. So of course he's not going to kill Kanan, but Dre doesn't know that yet. So they're plotting to tell Dre, they're going to lie to Dre and tell Dre that they didn't kill Ghost because Ghost didn't show up. Kanan was the one who showed up, and they're not going to kill Kanan because that's not what Dre ordered them to do. Okay. Kanan, okay, Kanan is hiding inside the spot. Diego and his numero uno, they walk in, okay, and it's a sign on the floor to say, this way for pussy, or this way to put. Girl, I can't, like, that's how this nigga Diego operates. And then they had all the dominatrix shit set up. Girl, I cannot. What niggas would do for some pussy? I can't. Anyway, he walks in, okay, and they go and they open up the doors. Kanan steps out and he kills both of them. Shoots both of them. Shoots the numero uno in the head. Shoots Diego, look like in the shoulder, in the chest area, in the shoulder. Stands over him and then pulls the trigger. Puts him out of his misery, okay? He pulls out this little hand-held axe, and we'll see later the reason why he pulled out the handheld axe was to sever Diego's head, put it in a bag, and deliver it to Jason Mitchell, okay? So he delivers the head in the bag, and Kanan tells Jason about Kanan tells Jason about the hit that has been organized against him. All right, because remember, Kanan's intent now is to cut Tommy out and get in on Jason's organization, right? So he tells Jason that there's a hit out on him and the niggas coming right now. We need to roll. Jason says, well, fuck that. Why don't we just stay here and kill him? Kanan says, because he's the only connect to Alicia, and we need Alicia to get the shit, right? So, and Jason is concerned about Tommy and Ghost. Kanan says Tommy and Ghost will X each other out. We don't have to worry about them. All right. So then they leave. Okay. They happily skipping off with Diego's head in the bag, and they plans to become partners. Okay. So meanwhile, though, Dre is creeping on a come up, or so he thinks, right? He is dressed as one of the building workers, in his hat with the cart and everything, and he got his gun, okay, stored away in the cart. So he's he getting all his artillery and shit together, putting the gun together and everything, and he's on his mission. He gonna go in there and he gonna take Jason out with the chopper, right? He shows up at the door. Ain't nobody in there. Jason ain't nowhere to be found. Ain't nobody in there at all. And he just as confused as the day is long. He was looking around like, what the fuck? But see, he been outsmarted. He has been outsmarted, and it didn't surprise me because Dre thinks he's cunning. Dre thinks he has, is 10 steps ahead of people, and clearly he's not because of what just happened, right? And Dre thinks that all of that loud talking and cussing people out and trying to intimidate people, thinking that has, some sort of weight in the game, but people don't respect Dre. So anyway, Angie and Ghost, this is the final scene. Angie and Ghost are eating dinner at Angie's apartment, and Tasha shows up saying they gotta talk, okay? Because Terry done left, and she's there telling Angie that Terry done rolled out, and we're screwed. Basically, we are assed out unless we come up with another plan, okay? She has the pistol. The gun that all of this commotion is about, she had told them that she got rid of the gun, but she had not gotten rid of the gun. She held onto the gun as insurance just in case something like this would have happened. So she puts the gun down on the table and says the only thing left to do is to turn herself in. Ghost steps up and says, absolutely not. You will not do that. I will turn myself in before I let you turn yourself in. And that was the end of the episode, y'all. So, what y'all think? It was a good episode. It gave me a little bit of something. So I guess we'll see what happens next week. And I appreciate y'all stopping through. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, go ahead and do that. Turn your notifications on so you can get notified when I upload new content. I will be back next Sunday with the next episode of Power. All right, y'all. Take care.